Hello everybody and welcome. My name is Rose J, and FNAF Secret of the Mimic just came out, and honestly it's one of the best FNAF games that I think ever has come out. It has given us some of the most interesting questions, but also a lot of answers. But one of the biggest answers in the entire series was given to us in this game, and it was hidden almost perfectly, but I found it. I figured it out, and it's not what you think. One of the biggest questions that we are always asking after a FNAF game is what ending is the true ending? And even though this is the least popular thought of this being the ending, I think the Save M1 or Save the Mimic ending is the true ending, and here's why. So for this ending, you need to collect all the collectibles and beat the moon game. In doing so, you get the glitched permissions. Then you can go run Parachute EXE, you complete the R&D area or the FNAF 1 area, and you head to Edwin's home at the top of the hill. Then when you enter and dodge M1, you can enter these glitched rooms that have tapes in them. You collect all 6, you head to the vent. Doing all that, you find yourself in what looks to be a FNAF 4 child's room. It looks way too similar to this room, and I think I'm going to do some theorizing about that soon. But you set the Tiger Rock plushie on the podium in the middle, and you finish the story. You save the Mimic, and it turns into a baby Mimic, or David, and you get the ending. Now, you may be asking, where are you going with this? Well, in the DLC of Security Breach Ruin, we find ourselves trapped or going underneath a pizzaplex to save Gregory, just to find out that the entire time it was a trap set by the Mimic to be let out of the basement. But why didn't Gregory find the Mimic when he was in security breach and he went down there? So what I'm saying is, I think Matt Pat was right all along. I think that Gregory is a robot because he is the Mimic. Listen, I know this sounds crazy, but Gregory has always been really fishy throughout the entirety of Security Breach, from not being reluctant to saying his name.
I'm Gregory.
Being abnormally strong, kicking animatronics in the face and pushing them back. He's just a child. And one of the most interesting things is when you run into Vanny, your vision glitches. I don't think normal humans have glitchy vision, and I think if you were a robot that maybe isn't like a normal robot, your vision might be a little bit hazy. Also, when you were in Edwin's house, you can find this picture of the Mimic and David sitting on top of a hill looking over at a factory. Does this picture look familiar? Well, it should. You can find this both in Security Breach and Ruin, where there's a boy and his robot sitting on top of a hill looking over. Now, I do think that there is something else missing, because obviously there is Vanessa, but I don't want to rule it out. Now, this is only speculation, but I think that after the Save the Mimic ending, I think Arnold helps M2 escape. Then he takes care of him. I think he leaves M1 or Fiona in the manor. M2 runs away to try to find Fiona again, because, I mean, it's like his mother, basically. But when M2 runs away, he finds the huge mall in its place instead, and finds eventually that the Mixus machine was a reprogrammed version of Fiona, but didn't know that there is some kind of virus. And I think what had happened was he got corrupted by the virus that was going around, like the William Afton virus that was going around. And I think that's what made him snap back into the normal Mimic. I think it would make more sense only because why is Gregory going back Gregory there? We've never had a real reason why Gregory was in the building, in the Pizzaplex. But if it's because he's going back to try to find his friend, or find Fiona, it would make so much more sense. And then when you look into going in a little bit in the future, you find Cassie going into the thing, and then the entire story happens. And I think this is also why you can find all of Gregory's stuff, like his backpack and I believe shoes. I'm not sure, I can look back, but I think you can find his shoes when you go back into the when you're about to let the mimic out. Another quick thing I'm going to try to explain is who Arnold is. Arnold is the new protagonist of Secret of the Mimic, and I think he's a phenomenal character. And I also think that he might be Cassie's father. And if the true ending is the save mimic ending, then I think it makes sense, since it's the only ending with Arnold surviving. And the only thing that we know about Cassie's father is that he likes Bonnie, he works for Fazbear, and he has a Faz wrench-like thingy. Now, if you look at Arnold, he works for Fazbear Entertainment. He's a technician with a Faz wrench-like thing, or the data diver. And in the very beginning of the game, when you start, you have a Bonnie head bobber on the top of your dash of your car. And I don't know about you, but I wouldn't have a character that I don't like sitting there on my car dash. I'd choose a character that was probably my favorite. I think Arnold in the future goes to find Gregory, or M2, when it runs away and gets taken by either Fazbear Entertainment or the rogue killer code that puts him in the robot that gives Cassie the mask, the Vanny mask, in the beginning of Ruin, which is also the player in Help Wanted 2. A lot of these things are mixing up and are mashing together, and I don't think that it's a coincidence. I think it is one of the most interesting things in this series, and I can't wait to see what games come next. Now, if I had to guess what the next game would be, I think we're gonna be awakening at the bottom of the elevator in Ruin. And I think it'll be Cassie's job this time to save the mimic, and possibly her dad too, in Security Breach too. Alright, thank you. If you guys like this video and this theory, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and trying to continue making these videos, because it's really fun for me to play the games and think about what is this game what is in this game and what is happening, and it's very fun, and I want to create a very fun community that helps. And yeah, thank you guys for spending time to watch this video. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.